All right, welcome back, everybody. It's good to see you all. As the title indicates, it's story time, and I'm back on major film production. All right, so let me back you up. About 20 years ago, 20 years ago, I was doing extra work on film sets all over, Utah, the Salt Lake area, that kind of area. So I was on different television commercials, training videos, and I was in two major movies. Well, not major movies, but I was in two movies. The movies that I was in, the first one is called Dark Matter, starred Meryl Streep and Eric Avari. It's based on a true story about a professor and his student, let's say. Then the other movie that I was in was called American Pastime, which was about the Japanese internment camps in Topaz, Utah. And for the Topaz, Utah location, they built a very elaborate uh, replica of the Japanese internment camps they uh, that they imprisoned the Japanese citizens in during World War II. So anyway, I was an extra in both of those movies. And Gary Cole was in the American Pastime movie. So you can look him up if you want. The back of my head shows up in the Dark Matter movie. And for the American Pastime movie, I was kind of off in the distance as a background extra role. So anyway, that was 20 years ago. So fast forward to today, and I'm looking to get back into doing that kind of work again, because Utah has tons and tons of production that's done here. So anyway, just looking for a change of scenery, something else to do, and working on film sets is really interesting and fun work. You learn a lot. It's very cool to see behind the scenes how movies are made, how it all comes together, and that sort of stuff fascinates me. So, all right, so yesterday I dropped my wife and her oldest daughter off at the airport. They're on their way off to Phoenix to do stuff and things. I get home, and I wasn't home but maybe 10 minutes, long enough to load the dishwasher, but I got an email from one of the production companies that I subscribe to that they're looking for lots of extra background people to fill in for a protest scene for this movie production. And so they said, we'll still pay you the regular day rate, even though it's in the middle of the day. We'll still pay you the regular day rate. Just let us know if you can be there, and this is the address, this is where to be, all that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm kind of like, well, I don't have anything to do today because my wife is gone, and I really don't have anything to do. So the location was in Oakley, Utah, and it was a kind of a western situation, kind of a western shoot. And so anyway, I'm like, where the hell is Oakley, Utah? So I Google Oakley, Utah, and it's about an hour and a half from where I live. It's in the Uinta Mountains. So I'm just like, hour and a half drive. I don't know, man. So anyway, I'm just like kind of back and forth, and kind of talking to the production people. Just like, so like, what if it's going to be like 2 hours until I can get there? They're just like, that's fine, just get here, whatever. All right, so I finally decided, like, if I don't go, I'll probably regret it and be wondering what I missed out on forever. You don't know what you don't know, right? So anyway, I decided, like, all right, F it. I got nothing else to do today. Let's gas up the car and let's go to Oakley, Utah. So I punch in the coordinates, fill up the gas tank, and off I go. And I arrive at the location About an hour and a half later, they have a base camp set up that has, the base camp trailers, the wardrobe trailers, the there's restroom trailers, there's changing rooms, there's all the stuff you would have at a film production base camp. That's all there, and tons of parking for everybody to park their cars and everything. And then so I check in with the guy, our contact, and go to wardrobe, get the wardrobe squared away. Everything's cool. Then they bus you out on school buses and vans out to the production site where they're filming. We're on this gigantic ranch, is where the production is occurring. And so we get there, and turns out that there's this really janky bridge that goes, across this river to get you to the film location. And before I got there, the bridge had actually broken and kind of stalled everything for quite a while before they can get a skid loader out there to bring some extra wood, I guess, to strengthen the bridge so that they could transport their trucks across this janky bridge to get to the filming location. Sounds like somebody in the property department dropped the ball. They should have been out there the week before strengthening that bridge, because they know that there's going to be about a dozen super heavy equipment trucks, school buses loaded with actors going across this bridge, and you're going to want to strengthen that bridge. Whatever. So anyway, so get across the bridge, get to the production location, and so the production is a spin-off from the Yellowstone series. It's called Marshals, something like that. It comes out in 2026. It's based in Montana. So the set that we were on was like they had like this little stage with a podium where some dignitaries were doing dignitary stuff, whatever, and speaking to this crowd. And I was one of the protesters protesting these political dignitaries there. And so that was my role as a background worker, is protesting these dignitaries. And it was pretty cool. It was fun. It's basically all done in pantomime. There's no actual clapping of hands, there's no actual yelling or screaming. It's all done in pantomime, and it's all the audio's created in post-production. So it's kind of interesting to see that go down. And then there was some crap goes down during this protest, an explosion goes off, all mayhem breaks, everybody's running, it's all this mayhem and everything. And so that was pretty cool to see how they coordinate all of that with the special effects and everything. And so never been on a set that did any kind of special effects work like that, so that was a first for me, with the explosions and running and mayhem and all that. That was kind of cool. And so anyway, yeah, they wrapped up at about 9 o'clock, and then I caught the first charter bus going back to base camp, and again the bridge was out again. I don't know. So anyway, it took us a little while for them to do whatever they had to do to get the bridge passable. So we got across the bridge. I got home about 10:30 or so last night. But anyway, it was crazy. It was a cool experience. I love working behind the scenes like that to see how it gets put together, and secrets of the trade, secrets of filmmaking, what you don't see on screen. I mean, when you're looking at a movie, you're watching a movie, you're seeing what's on the camera, but what you don't see is a literal city set up behind that camera to support everything going on that set. It's a huge production with dozens of giant equipment trucks and tents everywhere for people to be setting up all their stuff, all the tradesmen out there. It's insane what goes into creating a movie. Quite impressive, actually. But then you get an idea of well, damn, that's where all the money goes. This stuff is expensive as hell, because as a just a background actor myself, I'm getting paid $140 plus $15 for gas to just show up and be in the background, and there's hundreds of people like me there. So there's that, and there's all the skilled tradespeople there that are getting paid way more than me, plus all the principal actors and stuff. So you get a real feel of what these productions really cost, what goes into them. So anyway, I think that I'm going to be doing a lot more of this kind of work as it comes available, as long as I fit the profile of what they're looking for. I'm down to do that kind of work again. So yeah, super cool experience. I love doing that stuff, and it was great to be, back in the saddle, as it were, working on big film productions. So look for more stories, perhaps. More stories coming your way of any time I show up on a major film production. So I will tell you the story of how it all went. Anyway, it was a good time. Glad I did it. Super exhausting, but highly rewarding at the same time. That's all I got for you guys today. Hit that like and subscribe button. See you guys in the next video.